Hey guys, HMK here with a brand new series that's going to tackle secrets, facts, and explanations on gaming's history and lore, which I'm going to name the Hectic Reports. The first report is going to be on the Legend of Zelda timeline split. Many already know about this split but are confused on how and why it works. Well, HMK is here to cut the formalities and break it down so you have a firm grasp on the knowledge of the Zelda timeline split. So what exactly is the Zelda timeline split? Well, from Skyward Sword all the way to Ocarina of Time, it's been one single timeline. But at the end of Ocarina of Time with the fateful battle against Ganon, it can have three different possibilities. Two where Link is victorious and one where Link is defeated. And remember, in Ocarina of Time, it dealt with two different time periods, the past and the future, Child Link and Adult Link, hence the Child Timeline and the Adult Timeline. So at the end of the game, when you defeat Ganon and if you're victorious, Link goes back to his original time, causing a rift in the spatial time vortex, or the time-space continuum, or whatever you like to call it. Space-time continuum, blah, blah, something weird. Anyways, this sending Link to the past creates a paradox in which the child timeline goes on with Link, and the adult timeline where everything went to shit after Ganon was defeated, you know, when Ganon was ruling Hyrule, continues on without him. And if Link dies, that also is a possibility. But I'm going to break each one down so you can get a firm grasp on it. Alright, so let's begin with the adult timeline. Breaking down the adult timeline may be a bit confusing, so bear with me. At the end of Ocarina of Time, Link was sent back to the past by Zelda to his childhood for him to regain his 7 years he lost in the midst of the War of Time. This had ghastly implications, because by doing this, she basically erased Link's existence from that timeline. Echoing concepts from the multiverse theory, Link is technically not a product of that timeline, since he was sent to the future by pulling out the Master Sword. He had nothing to grow into naturally, as the course of time will change if he is sent back to the past. Since he was sent back, he now influences the time that he was in and his absence, changing history for that timeline and staying there. For the adult timeline, it went on without him, and since he was changing the destiny of the original timeline he was from, he couldn't grow into the hero that needed him in that timeline when Ganondorf returned. Hooray for paradoxes! So when Ganondorf returned in the adult timeline with no hero to stop him, the Great Flood happened and the Wind Waker trilogy commenced. The reason why this is called the adult timeline is because this is the future that the adult Link had crafted. Now, on to the child timeline. Now going into the child timeline, Link returned to the past, and with the Triforce of Courage as proof, he warned Princess Zelda of the horrific future. Thanks to this warning, Ganondorf was captured, subdued, and executed before he could conquer Hyrule, changing the course of history for the better. Then the Darkness trilogy followed, with 2 more rises of Ganondorf. But the Triforce and Hyrule stayed intact, so this timeline was definitely for the better. Now the last timeline is heavily theoretical in its own right, more of a what-if timeline. It is the timeline in which Ganon was victorious against Link and Zelda, completing the Triforce. An imprisoning war follows to seal Ganon and the Triforce within the Dark World, but the damage has already been done. This is the downfall timeline, in which Hyrule's fate is the worst out of all 3 timelines. Throughout this timeline, Hyrule is continually bombarded and feverishly attacked over and over due to the knowledge of the Triforce out in the open. The resulting clashes against evil and the multiple inner conflicts of the land takes its toll on Hyrule and diminishes it significantly. 7 games take place in the downfall timeline, and though Link is victorious at the end of each, Hyrule's deterioration is apparent and the land is a shadow of its former self. There you have it, the Hector reports on the timeline split without all the hoopla. Thank you for watching, and if you want more, send a comment my way on what you want me to break down next and share my hectic knowledge with you guys. It's not singled out by only Zelda, so don't forget about that. Also, subscribe as well, and keep it here at HMK, the one gaming YouTube channel seeking to hit you with hectic knowledge, hype, news, and theories. And until the next Hector report, I've been HMK, keeping things hectic, and I'll check you guys later.